Alright, so just a little disclaimer before I start my review. Potomac, I know it's pronounced that way, but if I say Potomac, I don't need to be corrected in the comments. Also, with Charisse's name, I'm aware that it's Charisse. If I say Charisse, it's purely intentional. If you're familiar with Pop Roast or Alexander Rogers' channel, period, you know that he calls her Charisse and he calls Gizelle Gabrice. Charisse stuck with me, so sometimes I'm going to call her Charisse. All right? Great. So we open in Potomac in Karen's house, you know, that she's renting, and all we hear is just moaning throughout the house, like, yeah, so it's not a troll doll that you're hearing or Karen having sex with her husband. It's actually her exercising with her trainer. Those shady producers at Bravo and their misdirects, I tell you. So then after she finishes, she has some idle chit chat with her husband, Ray. Ray just be looking so disinterested in her. I'm not sure if it's just because he's senile or just tired of her, or maybe it could just be both. Now the next scene, we see Monique meeting up with Gizelle of all people. Now, they both look good. I mean, I'm especially surprised for Gizelle, because she's normally tacky. But I'm sure she'll fulfill that later in the episode. Now, they're sitting down and they're acknowledging like, wow, look at us. Like, we came through so much, because we know that, you know, they used to just bump heads, they oil and water. And it's nice to see that they're on the same page for once, but we all know that Gizelle was the one that started with Monique in the first place, because even when she came on, Gizelle came for her. Because we know Gizelle is jealous of Monique and what she has. Period. And then Monique says in her confessional that, yeah, when Gizelle is, you know, getting D on the regular, she's, you know, a more tolerable person. I know a few people like that, actually. So I know what she means. So they get on the topic of Ashley and you know how she's been down lately. She's suffering from postpartum depression. She needs to get out the house. So they're going to combine their efforts and throw a little dinner party with the rest of the ladies for her. They are going to invite Candiace. And they both agree that Candiace is the one that needs to really apologize, because Candiace's tweets were out of pocket, especially on the day of her child's birth. We find out that Monique and Candiace are in a good place now, like unlike season 4. They made up after the reunion. And Monique says, yeah, she's going to talk to Candiace about it. Now, Gizelle finds the perfect way to segue into talking about Charisse and Candiace's relationship. She's telling Monique that she found it weird too. So the word on the street is, we find out that Charisse has been talking about Monique to a lot of people. And then production asked Monique in her confessional, well, what has she been saying? And then Monique says, I don't want to talk about it. Nope. But then we cue to Gizelle, you know, two-faced Gizelle, and she can't wait to spill the tea. So allegedly, the tea is that Monique has been sleeping around with her personal trainer. I really don't like how Gizelle keep calling Monique's husband Big Boy. I know that is bugging Monique right now at her home. Speaking of, shout out to Monique right now, because I just found out that she lost her bird T'Challa. Like, I feel so bad. Like, hopefully she finds it. Like, she was real distressed on her Instagram today. Hopefully she finds the bird. So next scene, we're at Ashley's place and she's meeting up with a lactation specialist to help her out with breastfeeding. Now, did I giggle when I saw that specialist with that knitted replica of a boob when she put that into her like entire mouth, demonstrating it to Ashley? I did. I had a good giggle off of that scene. Next up, we have Candiace meeting up with new housewife Wendy. So we get a little background on Wendy, and she's a doctorate. She's a professor at an accredited university, and also she does political commentary on Fox News. And I'm sure on other outlets, but they showed it on Fox News. And she can also read a bitch. Now, Candiace did not say they have politics in common, and they just showed a picture of Candiace and Barack Obama from 2012. They didn't do that. They did. Anywho, Wendy recently had a baby, and then this goes into the discussion of Candiace saying, well, she's on a journey of maybe having a baby soon, but she's not sure yet, because she thinks she's not ready. hey, I get it. Children are a lot. I definitely don't want any, but yeah, she needs to think long and hard before she, wants to, you know, continue having a life where she can only care for her and not someone else. I figure that would be hard for Candiace. Now, apparently there's some tension between Wendy and Karen because they already know each other. Now, Karen in the last episode was saying, yeah, I'm familiar with Wendy. I wasn't really impressed. And in this episode, Wendy's like, well, yeah, I've met Karen a few times, but she be on that grand dame fancy shit, and I'm not here with that. So yeah, hopefully there's some tension later on in this season between them two. Wow, Candiace is the second person to say that, Gizelle's a more tolerable human being when she's getting dick on the regular. So in the next scene, we see Candiace and Karen at the bar, getting something to eat. And I'm looking at this scene, I'm just like, who would be worse to wait on? Karen or Ramona from New York City? Like, they both seem like a nightmare to wait on. I just know it. I think Ramona. Yeah, Ramona would be more, but Karen is a close second. So Candiace gets a text from Monique, inviting her to Ashley's dinner party. And she's kind of surprised that, well, everyone's kind of surprised that Gizelle and Monique are working together for this party because they're like oil and water. But it seems Candiace has no problem going to the dinner because she also wants to just move forward with Ashley and put this whole feud behind them. Now we're back with Ashley at her place and she's on the phone with Monique. Monique is just giving her some info about the party. She's giving her a heads up saying, yeah, girl, I invited Candiace because you guys need to get over this, and I think Candiace should really apologize to you. Now, the way Monique is framing this, like, she's leading Ashley to believe that Candiace is coming to apologize to her, and I feel like Candiace does not plan on apologizing to Ashley at this dinner. So I'm sure that's going to be a problem. So next scene, we have Juan meeting up with Gizelle. Now, in the comments in the last episode, y'all said, oh, I don't see what you seeing, Juan. What you seeing, Juan? Juan is fine to me, and that's all that matters. If he's not fine to you, fine. But the nigga fine to me, as well as Apollo. Mauricio was fine at one point. Is he still fine? He just has dad bod. I don't know. Mauricio's still fine too. Who are your favorite housewife husbands in the franchise? Y'all let me know, since clearly for some of y'all it ain't Juan. Let me know. So he's meeting Gizelle unbeknownst to Robin, so he's ready to propose to her after 5 seasons. Good for them. And I guess Gizelle's gonna help him out with the ring, and I'm sure it's bound to be tacky. So next we're at Candiace's residence. She comes out the bathroom and meets Chris in the kitchen, and dramatically she's just in the kitchen saying, well, I peed on a stick. Dramatic pause. And I'm not pregnant. Yeah, Chris is just like, okay, well, we ain't really having sex like that, so I really didn't expect you to be pregnant. Her face cracks a little bit at that, but she did say that she was hoping that the pregnancy test was positive. So then they're going back and forth about why they think they're not having as much sex as they should as a newly married couple. So Candiace is saying, oh, you want to have sex in the morning and I want to have sex at night and you be all tired. And I'm just like, well, personally, I prefer morning sex, but I don't know. It differs. I mean, the best sex is always sporadic, isn't it? You don't really have to like plan it. I don't know. I won't be in a relationship anytime soon, so yeah, I'm glad I'm single. Anyway, now, based on their conversation, it seems that her husband Chris is still just an average lay to her. Yeah, she might want to have this baby because this marriage looks like it's not going to be lasting long. So it's the night of the dinner, and then Monique and Gizelle get there early. Lord, I really want Gizelle to get a stylist. I really do. Now, Gizelle gets into Monique's ear about Candiace again. She's saying she heard from Ashley that when Monique and Candiace fell out, Candiace became friends with Charisse out of spite. And if y'all remember, Charisse and Candiace in season 3 did not get along. So it says a lot that they're friends now. And Monique looked like she's really annoyed by this information. And I just want to know, do y'all see what Gizelle doing right now? Like the puppet master shit? Like it's really all her fault for putting Candiace and Monique at odds with each other right now. I'm just noticing that. Are y'all noticing it? So the rest of the ladies are arriving. Candiace gets there a little late with Wendy. It looks like they're all, being cordial right now. Ashley at the dinner table thanks everyone for coming and supporting her. She also brings up this very TMI situation. She has a tear in her anus. And being that her husband is Michael Darby, I can imagine that he's hitting it in the back. I mean, the jokes just write themselves, honestly. But yeah, then she starts talking about bowel movements, and hopefully, thank God, somebody changed the topic. So they're talking about Candiace's anniversary party now, and Monique brings up seeing Charisse at the party, and she calls her a walrus as well as a warthog. Damn. And Candiace said, well, damn, I wasn't really aware that y'all were beefing like that. Monique gives her a look and she said, we'll talk about it later. So then Monique changes the topic to, so when y'all gonna do on a honeymoon? And she said, well, we just haven't yet. And Monique says, well, you could have just used that money on that anniversary party for your honeymoon, which was the truth. And then we get to talking about how Candiace still uses condoms in her marriage. Everyone's just like, what, girl? Also, if you're using condoms and y'all not really having sex, why did you just come out with these theatrics at your house about taking a pregnancy test? That's what I want to know. Like, she did that for the cameras. Stunts and shows. Now, Gizelle brings up that Candiace and Ashley needs to bury the hatchet, and she wants them to talk it out at the dinner table, and she's insinuating that Candiace should apologize, or there should just be apologies said at the table. Now, Candiace says she prefers to have a conversation outside of the ladies. Maybe they can talk. And Ashley's kind of like, well, we can really just talk right here. And an apology needs to happen. And the way she's talking to Candiace, I can see this going left really fast. So they're going back and forth, and now it looks like the majority of the ladies are jumping on Candiace about just apologizing to Ashley right now. Like, what's the difference? Like, just apologize and move on. And Candiace is just fed up. She's just like, can we just stop fucking talking about it? And Gizelle's like, no, like an apology needs to happen. So Candiace just tells Gizelle, well, you need to shut the fuck up and fuck all of you. And that's pretty much where the episode ends. It ends with the to be continued, these producers. But yeah, what I'm seeing is Gizelle manipulating Candiace and Monique's relationship and getting them to, the dramatic fight that's bound to happen. I kind of want to know more about the new housewife. It looks like in the next episode we're going to learn some more about Wendy. What else? It also looks like in the next episode that Candiace and Monique are going to get into it. And yeah, like I'm enjoying this season so far. I'm very confident it's going to be a good one, better than Atlanta, of course. We're only 2 episodes in and I'm enjoying it. But yeah, I will see you guys next week for the next episode. And as always, hit that like button, please. Comment what you thought about the episode and subscribe. I mean, come on. Yeah. But okay, I will see y'all later. Bye.